everyone, welcome into this Bringing It Together. We'll take our last 5 pose practices from this week and put them together into a sequence or a practice for a little bit longer than our 3 to 5 minutes we've been working on each day. Follow along with me for an extended practice today. We'll be here for about 15 minutes or so. I want you to first come to standing. We'll begin where we come into our day in a standing posture. So start with your feet underneath your hips. Have your toes pointing forward. Soften your knees. Let your hips feel steady. Release that breath and release the tension that is hiding in all those little spots in your body. Visualize that umbrella breath that we worked on this week. So have the picture in your mind where your spine is the center, the handle of the umbrella, and your lungs are coming out in all directions from the front that we're familiar with, but also know that the ribs and the lungs extend to the sides and the back. Here we go. Breathe in, extend, open the umbrella. Through here. As you release the breath, draw in at the bottom. Draw in at the center. Relax. Rest your chest. Breathe in. Nice and wide through the bottom. Lots of space for breath. Breathe out. Draw it in. Rest your chest. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Draw in through your center. Relax at the diaphragm. Rest your chest. Continue at your own rate and rhythm of breath. Let it guide your practice. The speed of your breath at any given moment is one of the great cues, or it's the first lesson that our body gives us about what our body is doing and how we are meeting that or coming into synchronicity with what our mind is doing as well. Some beautiful cues that can come there. So follow your breath. Notice when you breathe in. And when you breathe out, let your body soften and relax when you do that. We're going to bring our arms into our practice. As you breathe in this time, breathe in and draw your elbows together. Let your chest expand. As you breathe out, roll the shoulders forward. Bring the hands towards each other. Let their head rest on the chest. Full extension of the shoulders here. Breathe in. Draw the shoulders towards each other, the shoulders towards the spine. Lead with your elbows. Big breath in. Oh, feel that stretch across the chest. Breathe out. Hands back towards each other. Bring your chin towards your chest. Now here, find your own right rhythm. Your body's going to tell you when it's ready to move. Draw in. Lift the chest. Draw the shoulders back towards each other. Get that mobility of your shoulders. Notice all the stretching that's happening across the front of your chest and your shoulders. Maybe even into your biceps. As you release your breath, draw those shoulders forward. Pull them right out. Get a great stretch across your back. And we'll go 2 more times. Breathe in. Expand. Open up to great breath. Breathe out, move those shoulders. Shoulder mobility is something we can all appreciate. Get moving those shoulders. Oh, big stretch here. And one more time, find that full mobility. Find your range of motion in your shoulders. Draw them together. Lift at the chest. That made a big difference. I was dropping my chest and pushing my belly forward. If I lift my chest, I can open up, stretch a little more. Almost like a diving forward. Push those shoulders forward. There we go. Alright, you're going to breathe in. Come back to neutral. And at this time, step your feet to the width of your mat or wider than your hips. Point your toes out to 11 and 1 o'clock. You're going to bring your elbows to shoulder height and your hands facing forward. Here we want to bend into a squat, just a little squat. As we breathe in, we're going to reach up on a diagonal, our arms and legs. Look up, star. As we breathe out, come down to that squat, goddess. Breathe in. Again, follow your rate and rhythm of breath. It means that you might not move at the same time as I do, but stay in tune with my cues until you have an idea of what we're doing. We'll move through this breathing, this flow, for about 5 or 6 breaths. Listen to the guidance that your body is giving you for speed, for depth, for engagement of the posture. Breath in, release the breath. Go one more time. Breath in. This time as we come down, as we release the breath, bring the palms together to touch over your head. As you breathe out, send your shoulders out wide, your elbows out wide, bring your hands down the center of you. As your hands come to your heart, begin to bend at the knee. We are going to go into a Malasana squat here. Now here, I can squat all the way in, but I want to show you what it's like when you use a chair. When I squat into my chair, I bring the earth up to where I am. Now, when I have a chair, I usually will reach for it so I know where it is. Bring my feet forward to feel the support and comfortable. Still take my elbows to my knees. Press my knees to my elbows. Press my elbows to my knees. My hands are pressing in together as well. Here, I want to get really tall with my spine. So I'm stretching out my spine from the top of my head, pressing my elbows into my knees. Feeling opening through my hips. Oh, all the benefits of Malasana squat with the earth meeting me where I'm at. Hold here. I'm going to take 3 breaths and again bring your mind to the umbrella breath. Noticing that your abdomen will have some constriction. You still want to take in a deep breath. So draw in. Big breath into the belly. As you release the breath, draw in at your center. Still let your chest rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let the chest rest. You might be in a full Malasana squat here without the support of the earth coming up to meet you. Know that this is so great for your posture. Last breath here. Getting stretched through the hip, massaging into the organs, your vital organs in your center, and great lift through your spine. All right, the next time you release your breath, bring your hands to the ground in front of you. If you're coming down to the mat, you're welcome to. If you want to stay in your seat, that works as well. We're going to come down here into our seated posture, and I'll just check my notes, but I think we're going into puppy pose. Oh no, we're going to do a seated cat-cow before we do that. So our seated cat-cow in our chair, on the ground, wherever you're seated, bring your hands to your knees. When you breathe in, you're going to lift your chest, draw the shoulders back, just like we did when we were standing, moving through the spine today. As you breathe out, draw the navel towards the spine, let the chin come towards the chest, curl your spine back, roll your hips even. All right, breathe in, lift at the chest, draw the shoulders back, tilt the tailbone backwards, lift the head. Oh, we're making C curves with our spine. Breathe out, draw the ribs together, roll the hips, draw the shoulders forward. There we go. Find your rate and rhythm of breath. When you breathe in, open the body, make space for the breath. Lift the chest. When you breathe out, bring that navel towards the spine. Reverse the curve of your spine. Roll your hips to get right into it. We'll do 2 more breaths here. The next time you breathe in, come up to sitting tall in your posture, turning your palms over to receive. We'll take 3 breaths here in neutral position to notice openings that have happened from our cat-cow breathing. When we move along the spine, you're massaging your nervous system, and you're making space for tensions to release, for new synapses to make connection or stronger ones, and just to reveal a few tensions that might be lingering there. I've got a little bit in my neck here tonight. Some beautiful breaths to notice the space you're making for your system to work well. We have 2 more postures in our practice today. We're going to next invite you to bring your weight forward, hands towards the mat, shift forward. Now you might come to a tabletop position on your mat. You might also use that chair one more time and bring your hands onto the chair where you can sit here. So sit back on the knees, or you can come onto them. You can also stand. So stand and then hands onto the back of the chair works really well, or a table, or back of a couch. Our puppy pose is when we keep our hips over our knees and we walk our hands forward. I'm tilting my pelvis here so I'm getting some stretch to the pelvis already. I'm putting my weight into my hands and my forearms, getting to a place where, just like in downward dog, I can hang my head down between my elbows. So our puppy pose, big stretch through the underarm and across the chest. Wherever you come to in this posture, whether it's onto support or onto the mat like we did in the video earlier this week, allowing yourself to stretch to the front of your body. I invite you to stay in this stretch for as long as it serves you. When you're ready to move out of the stretch, breathe in to lift up, press into your forearms and your hands, walk your hands back towards your shoulder placement, whether you're going to sit up onto your heels or if you're going to sit back, totally up to you. Also, we are going to go into child's pose to finish our practice today, and I wanted to show you, when I'm practicing at home, I have some just everyday props. This is a footstool that we use. We could use a few new beans, but it works great for yoga. And I'm actually going to child's pose into the support of this bean bag. I'm going to spread my knees. While I'm sitting back on my heels, I'm going to spread my knees as wide as my mat, and I'm going to pull that cushion right into me. I want to get my belly up and over it. I want to lean in, hug the bean bag. I'm going to settle in here for child's pose, and I invite you to settle into your child's pose as well. When you do, let your head rest down. If you rest your head onto one side, about halfway through your time or what feels like enough stretch, I do recommend turning your head to the other side. But for today's pose practice, this week's pose practice drawn all together, I invite you to shift yourself into child's pose, drawing into the center of who you are. Our child's pose is the smallest space we can draw ourselves into, and it takes us back to our origins and reminds us that each of us are created on purpose, and with a purpose. That's our child entry into the world, and this posture reminds you of that. I invite you to rest into the child's pose, to take this week's pose practice all together, and to spend some beautiful time in your yoga practice, learning to know you well. Take care, everyone. Rest well, practice well. I'll see you again with more pose practice next week.